Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of In Her Shoes. We are going to be talking all about feminine leadership. It is going to be amazing. This guest that I'm going to bring on, here she is. Yay! We had technical difficulties, so I'm going to bring her on. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay. Let's see it. She's going to just, yay! Ungenita! Yay!
We made it.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a little after 4, so I'm well rested, relaxed on Saturday, so I'm ready.
Amazing. So I was telling the people that this is going to be a fire one. I mean, we connected. You are amazing. And so this is Ungenita, Prevost, and she's the founder of Fem 500. You're all about feminine leadership. I love that. We have a lot of things in common, but we love the color pink. I put sequins on for you, my love.
and I'm wearing a gym outfit in pink.
I love it. So we have some guests. Anna, let's see, Dr. Karen. I'm so glad everyone's joining in. Tell us where you're from, because you're international, right? I'm in the US, you're international right now.
Yes.
And so I just love, so let's kick it off. So we connected, you are fierce, my love. And let's talk about feminine leadership. So I want you to share with the community just a little bit about your background, because it's so unique. And then you've built such an incredible brand and business. So I want you to really just tell us about your journey, and then let's open it up for female leadership, because I think this is such an important conversation, especially today. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about your journey and how you became to where you are now.
Well, first off, I have to say, I'd like you to introduce me every day.
Oh, that was nothing. This is on the fly, girl.
Can you do that every day? I'd love to wake up to introductions like that. This is Ungenita. Well, as you know, I mean, we had a great conversation, and I touched on the fact that I was a foster girl, aged out of the foster care system at 18 years old. Mm-hmm. And I've experienced every financial hardship you can possibly imagine: homeless, jobless, carless, cashless, and parentless. Statistically speaking, people like me don't make it. We end up, in desolate situations. Mm-hmm. So through my journey to overcome and thrive, there were 3 skills that I cultivated. And 1 was sales, number 2 was communication, and number 3 was networking. And so for me, that's how I was able to lead myself out of, desolate situations, and also from being a statistic and getting on the other side of that. So my definition of feminine leadership is to really cultivate those 3 major skills, because when you look at women in the top 2%, averaging over $1 million in revenue every year, they have cultivated those 3 skills. And so those are the skills that I teach every single day, because you cannot live without those skills. Now, I do mix in the femininity because I'm a glam girl. I love makeup. I love stilettos. That's just who I am. And I feel that a lot of women feel that they have to segment. Yeah. So when they go to work, they have the masculine mask. And then after work, they can sort of be girly and have fun. And so for me, I'm a girl 24/7. I'm going to be feminine. I'm going to wear my lashes. I'm going to wear my pink lipstick. I might wear a pink dress. I might wear a red dress. But I don't look at that like most people do. Most people think, oh my gosh, that's too much. That's you're not going to be taken seriously. And I actually believe it's the opposite effect, because when you own who you are and you stand in your power, you give permission for everyone else to stand in their power as well. So that's my definition of feminine leadership, and also combining the masculine energy, the masculine structures with that femininity, because I'm all about strategy. I'm all about focus. And I know you are as well, Kelly, and getting it done. I was following following your social media posts, and I thought, oh my gosh, Kelly is keeping me on my toes today. Like I thought I was on top of it, but Kelly is really keeping me on my toes. So a lot of times women sort of step into that damsel in distress role, and they think, oh, I'm gonna, be a girl and I don't have to do all of that stuff. And that's not empower. It's definitely not financially empowering us as a gender.
Mm-hmm. You like preach like that. That's all I'm gonna say, because everything spoke to my heart, and I think to so many others. So let's talk about. There's so many different directions I want to kind of go into, and I would say, because you had a hard bringing up, right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of women do. A lot of women are like, they don't, they're not born with a silver spoon in their mouth, right?
Exactly.
A lot of them are not. What do you contribute, like, over the years? Was it investing in yourself? Was it the mindset? Or was it just a couple of things, like, to get to where you are now? I mean, I know you have the 3 core elements, and I want to talk about those, but what do you think, was like a couple of tips that helped you kind of like really like step into your power and own it and shift and pivot your thoughts? Like, what was it for you?
I don't know why, but I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, living in the projects in New Orleans. And I would tell everyone that I was rich.
Love that. Yes.
And I don't know where that came from, but I guess started to cultivate belief, in myself and my ability to get out of that situation. And so back then I fantasized. I dreamt about being rich. And so I guess that carried me, because people thought I was crazy. I mean, I'm living in the projects, we're living off government cheese and food stamps, and it wasn't pretty. It was a nice life, I have to say, but I mean, there were days where grilled cheese sandwiches was for lunch and for dinner. And I'll never forget, this is really gross when I tell people this story, but we used to eat sugar butter sandwiches. I mean, like bread, because we'd get the free bread, and then butter, and then sugar, and that was like lunch sometimes. I mean, I would never do it. I would never do that today. But living like that, I just had a desire to, achieve more, and I don't know where that came from, but that sort of was instilled in me, and I cultivated that at a very young age, and then I carry that. And so in the foster care system, and then I was aged out, I was already working, and I already thought about, okay, I have to, make money. And I had a lot of money issues. I had a lot of shame around being in the foster care system. I was embarrassed because I didn't have technically a mother and a father. And I'd see other kids that had, mom and dads. And I was a little envious at that time, because I thought, gosh, my life would be perfect if I had a mom and a dad I could rely on. And I didn't go to college. I literally was, thrown out on the street. Yes. That's a true statement. Thrown out on the street, and I had to start my life at 18 years old. So
wow. So what I'm hearing is, I'm hearing a couple things. So the belief, right? The call it crazy, call it whatever you want. It was the belief in yourself, and you like were embodying it, right? Like going around and knowing that, and then also kind of the motivation that you're like, oh, that's not going to happen. There's like. Sandwich, grilled cheese for lunch, dinner, sugar, bread, sandwich. Like, that's not going to happen again. I love that, because I think a lot of women, right? And I can only speak to myself. Like, that is a game changer. Like the beliefs, the things we say to ourselves, like the comparison, all of that. And it's critical. It's a game changer. So you help women, and I love that you're just fiercely like embodying the femininity too, because a lot of women, they put on, like you said, those masculine masks, and it's like, can you wear sequins, can you wear pink, like who gives it, right? Who gives because you're going to be judged anyway, so embody who you really are. So talk to me about a little bit about like how you work with women and like even the 3 steps, right? Because you said like the sales, the connection, like tell me a little bit more about that, and what are you seeing within like the women that you're working with that is like, okay, we focus on X, Y, and Z, and those are the game changers for them?
Well, what happens, I think, online is everyone is just focused, right? And I say everyone, including women, everyone's just focused on being visible, right? They want, like, you know, we're on Clubhouse, and we've had, you know, great rooms on Clubhouse, but now that's the latest trend. And so
Yeah.
everyone's on Clubhouse, and then, you know, there's Instagram, of course, you know, and Facebook. And so everyone's out there just, you know, sharing their quote unquote stuff. And what I find is women don't understand communication. They don't understand how to position themselves and take a strong position to separate themselves from the commoditized experts on the market. So everyone's an expert, right?
Yeah.
So how do you separate yourself? And it really starts with understanding the difference between communication, messaging, and content, because communication is at the forefront of everything that we do, especially at higher levels. You have to be an excellent communicator. And Warren Buffett, I love quoting billionaires, by the way. Warren Buffett said that if you want to increase your net worth by 50%, hone your communication skills. He didn't say create a marketing message. He didn't say post content 100 times online. He said hone your communication skills. So for me, I noticed that most women struggle with that. They struggle with it. They don't know how to answer a DM. They don't know how to ask for what they want. They struggle with what to say, especially on Clubhouse. You know, a lot of women are spectators. They're not joining the conversation. They don't have a solid position. They don't have a communication plan. So for me, that's the foundation. And if you're struggling with sales, it's because you don't know how to communicate your value, or you're communicating with the wrong audience and you don't have a strategy that puts you in front of the right people so you can communicate in front of them and close more sales. So it's the networking, it's the communication, and it's the sales. And I'll ask every millionaire and billionaire, and I guarantee you they would agree with me.
Yeah.
Like those are the 3. Like you'll own the world if you hone those 3. You know,
Powerful.
so that's like, you know, my position. You know, I'm not a tactic person. You know, I'm a trendy person, and I love to be on top of trends, but I'm not a tactical person. For me, it's about real skills and strategies that will literally keep you current and also on time, because, you know, tactics expire.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's why there's a frenzy online. Oh, now, you know, post 80 times a day and you'll be famous, or, you know, write marketing messages that sound like this and you'll get more email opt-ins, whatever. You know, there's so many crazy strategies out there. And I think it's important to have real solid skills and then cultivate those skills simultaneously with the strategies.
I love that you said that, because now also, like you said, the new trend is Clubhouse, and now it's like the reels and the TikTok videos and all video, right? And yes, like yes, it's valid. That's where all the eyeballs are.
Yep.
But I like what you said, like have a strategy, have the back end, like what is your messaging? What is your stance? What are you speaking about? Let me ask you this, because I've definitely noticed exactly what you said on Clubhouse, where women are not participating in the conversation, and listen, you hear the thing of you're either a consumer or a creator, right? And you may be playing each at, you know, different times, but I've seen a lot of women not speak up when they want to speak up, or maybe they're, you know, afraid or shy. What do you think that is? And how can women overcome that? Like in your experience and what you've seen in your clients and your community?
Well, I'm going to talk about the talk that we did maybe 3 weeks ago in Clubhouse, unapologetic conviction, because everyone has confidence, right? We're all confident, and confidence gives us the courage. And when we have the courage, we can be unapologetic. And that's where you really don't think about what people say. You know, you're human. You might act, you know, someone, you know, can hurt your feelings, but they're not going to take you off your game. And so I think that women carry that to the table, and it prevents them from showing up powerfully. And they don't have a strong position because they're afraid of being liked. They give their power away to a like button. So for me, you know, I'm used to people, you know, saying things about me. You know, I've triggered a lot of women. You know, the days when I was speaking on stages in Los Angeles, I would show up and they would say, "Oh, where'd you come from? Are you so-and-so's wife?" Or, you know, or "You must be one of those trophy wives," or something like that. You know, that stereotype. I'm over it. I don't care, because my work precedes me. You know, I have the receipts to back it up. So it doesn't matter what they think of my eyelashes, what they think of my hair, what do they think about my pink dress, what do they think about my stilettos. I could give a fill in the blank.
Yeah.
So I think that's the issue. It's that unapologetic, you know, this is me, this is what I stand for, and it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay. It's okay. It's my position. And I love Steve Jobs when he said, you know, if you want to be liked, don't be a leader. Go sell ice cream. People love, you know, think about it. We all love the ice cream shops, right? Like, you know, go in and get an Oreo cookie scoop or whatever, you know, but, you know, tell someone, for example, my last summit, Miss Popular versus Miss Profitable, ruffles a lot of feathers because I ask women the hard questions. You know, okay, you have 14,000 followers. Are you making $14,000? Simple. Simple. Let's do the math, right? You're focusing on fans, followers, and likes, but have you ever made $14,000 in your business?
Right.
But I'm here to be a leader. I'm not here to, you know, that's for other people. There are about 25 people in the world that make millions, if not billions of dollars because of their likes. And they have a completely different strategy than you and I, you know? So that's my thing. And so women on Clubhouse, they're afraid of speaking up. They're afraid of taking a position. They're afraid of maybe sharing their ideas and offending people. I've offended people. I might offend someone right now. Because someone might say, "Oh my God, she's, you know, whatever." It doesn't matter. You know, that's thought leadership. Thought leadership is not copying everyone else or doing what was already done before. It's about bringing something new to the market that they have yet to see. So that's my 25 cents about Clubhouse.
Oh my, that's your TED Talk. That is like, that's the TED Talk for today. Like, done. Mic drop. Like, I don't even think we need to like go any further. But you bring up such, it's like what I'm hearing is it's like leadership, like you're offending in the name of service because you're real. It's like, okay, yeah, you might have the fans, followers, and likes, but like, where's the cash, you know, and where, how are you helping? And I love that you said, like, it's not about copying what other people are doing, because I see that so much online. I've been guilty as charged of it too, where I'm like, oh, that's a really good reel. Let me do that. You know, and we get caught up, right? We just get caught up. And I love that you said, listen, you're going to have haters and you're going to offend people. And then you're going to have like your tribe that loves you. And I think, I would agree. I think a lot of women get caught up in the whole, oh, or am I going to say something? Is it going to offend or ruffle feathers? And quite frankly, if you're coming from a place of integrity, like, yeah, no one's going to, like, not everyone's going to like you. And I love that.
You're going to offend people.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to offend people. And it's just going to happen. And so you have to take a strong position and you have to stand for something. You know, and so that's the other piece is most women don't stand for anything. They just want to be liked so much that they don't have an opinion. And that's not sexy, especially when we're in a room and we're having these conversations and women are just sitting on the sidelines watching, or I'll say listening to us. You know, you could join the conversation and enlighten yourself. You could say something and then move someone else, you know, and they land in your Instagram DM And that could lead to a client or, you know, your next business partner or a referral or an introduction, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're scared to speak or speak generically, it's not going to support you. And it definitely doesn't support us as a gender. We need more women speaking up, and we
Yeah.
need more women standing in their feminine power. We don't need more masculine women. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Right. I love everything you're saying. Let me ask you this, because I don't know if this ever happened to you before. It's happened to me where I said something, right? And then maybe I did get triggered, or maybe someone really came at me hard and like it threw me off and I wasn't prepared for that. Have you ever been in those like types of situation, and like, what did you do? How did you overcome it? Because there is that kind of like, oh, like maybe women are quiet because of that. Like maybe something happened that really like, you know, hit them in the heart, and they're like, oh, and so it's kind of like that overcoming and like regaining that power. So yeah, I would love your thoughts around that.
I think we're naturally triggered, right? Because we're heart centered, you know, we have feelings and emotions. I mean, women are emotional beings. That's why one of our key goals is to control our emotions in business.
Yeah.
You know, we have to control our emotions. But for me, I mean, I still will have like that kind of like, you know, pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I will like get angry and like, I'm gonna tell you, like that.
Yeah.
Go into that. But what I do is I give myself the right to express. Now I don't do it publicly. I do it in private, and then I move on. So if it's something really bad, I always say 24 hours, and then you have to let it go. But I think it's important to allow that emotion to come through and release it. I'm not about, you know, suppressing things. So if it's going to happen, like if someone, you know, someone says, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I might think, oh, well, did I say something that they didn't understand, or was I unclear about, did I make my point? You know, I'll assess it. You know, maybe there's some truth in that, but it's not going to negate my position. And then I just let it go, because obviously they're not interested in me. They're not a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so and then I just lovingly let it go, file out gracefully, delete. I'm a deleter, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say this, some people do that just to get a rise out of other people, right? And just to like throw in to see how, right, like we react. So I know there's people that, you know, sometimes that happens on Clubhouse a lot, right? It's just kind of the controversial things to see, you know, how strong you can stand in your position or what you're saying, or test you or whatever. So I want you to talk more about your work, like how you work with women. I know you have an amazing community, Femme 500. I would love for you to just, and like how like the breakthroughs, like anything that you want to share, because your work is so powerful and more women need to know about it. So yeah.
Awesome. So I'll say, if you'd like to check out Femme 500, you can go to femglobal500.com, and it's the full site. But the way that I work with women now is I work with women in sort of like 3 key areas. I have 3, I should say, services available. And so one is LinkedIn Unleashed. And I love LinkedIn. It's my #1 platform. No offense to Instagram. By the way, I'm going to start posting more on Instagram. But I love LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is really where you can stand in your power, and it pushes you. Only 1% of female entrepreneurs are leveraging LinkedIn.
Wow.
Only, 1% of users are posting content. So if you, like, I'm like the empress of LinkedIn, you know, like I have the LinkedIn thing, you know, mapped out. And that's what I like. That's my starting place for women, because in my LinkedIn training, we work on communication. We work on packaging and positioning, because that's another thing. You know, people are out there, you know, they have 20, 30 different offers, and they haven't sold anything, and they're confused. And so it's important to be packaged and positioned. And of course, build your billion-dollar Rolodex. So that's why LinkedIn is sort of the foundation. And then from LinkedIn, I have Impress, which is my networking club. It's a 6-month club. It's unlimited networking. Not only do you learn how to network strategically, but I assist you with referrals, introductions, JV partners, you name it. And that's for 6 months. And then I have my 1-year pink diamond, and that's for women that want to work with me in a more, I say, human contact level, where I'm helping them with their businesses. I'm helping them with their communication, with their sales, and of course, with their networking, so that they can step into their true feminine power.
I love that. So LinkedIn is your place to go. But you're active on other social media platforms. Totally.
Oh, I'm active,
yeah.
but because I've been online for 10 years. So I started on Facebook, and then Facebook, I moved to Twitter. Then Twitter, I moved to LinkedIn. But I probably signed up second. So it was Facebook, LinkedIn, but I didn't touch it. Yeah. Twitter, I had a nice life on Twitter. I did a lot of work on Twitter.
Yeah.
Then I said, I felt like LinkedIn was a place for me. Yeah. And I settled there. And then I sort of picked up Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's important that you focus on one platform that you're really good at. Like I said, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you something funny.
Yeah.
This was the first story that I ever posted on Instagram.
Oh,
okay. Okay.
That's also, well, because you're not on this, right? You're not on the,
like I post and I discovered this on LinkedIn. I'm really good at using hashtags and getting organic traffic, but like I'm not on Instagram. Clubhouse actually is sort of reviving my Instagram because Clubhouse now directs to Instagram. So I have the DMs. So now I just go to check the DMs and I say, okay, well, I better post. So now I'm going to create like my little circles, whatever those things are.
Oh, the little bubbles, the
so I'm going to create them. So it's pretty, it's going to be feminine.
Yes. Yeah. I love you.
But that's the point. Like I'm not trying to be queen of Instagram. I'm not empress of Instagram. I will never tell anyone that, but I'm empress of LinkedIn.
But I like what you say, because listen, I've heard a lot of the Clubhouse rooms, and even my clients too, everyone's they're just overwhelmed with the content, with where am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be all over. And I think it's that scarcity mentality of oh, well, if I'm not on TikTok, I'm not going to get clients. Or if I'm not on LinkedIn, it's no, and I love you saying utilize that one platform, or even two, but don't overwhelm yourself, because it is overwhelming, right? And it depends, I think, back to your the messaging and where your clients are, then you go, or a platform that you like and you make it so that your clients will come to you. I think any of these can be fit into, right, of depending on what your messaging and your packages are, they can fit in. You can make it work for you and what you like. It all has to be aligned. So I love that you said that.
Exactly, because I love your Instagram strategy. I'm checking you out, by the way, on Instagram.
I feel I don't have a strategy, but I
like it. I'm okay, all right, I'm gonna model Kelly. No. I'm gonna upgrade my Instagram. I'm gonna model Kelly. But that's the point, right? Yeah. You have a strategy that works for you. Yeah. I will cultivate a strategy that works for me. Most women are online and they don't have a strategy. Yeah. They just want to be everywhere and in front of everyone, and they don't, like TikTok. I don't have time. I'm not interested. Yeah. It's, over it. You're not going to find me on TikTok. But LinkedIn, Clubhouse, my Facebook group, and Instagram, catch me on the DM.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because you just brought up something that came to mind, because a lot of people, right, they go into these Clubhouse rooms, or they maybe on Facebook, whatever, wherever they are, and they hear these marketers say, get on TikTok, get on, what, the new trend that we were talking about, or the new fad, get on Clubhouse. What would you say? Because I think this also comes into play when we talk about like mentors and coaches and people that you look up to and all of that. How did you kind of like with discernment, like how did you find your mentors and how did you find like your coaches and the people that you look up to, whether it's personally like that you've worked with one-on-one or maybe the communities that you put yourself in? What was that process for you? Like, did it change and evolve over the years? Yeah. I mean, I know this is like opening camp.
Are you ready for this? Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just give you the warning.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I live in Los Angeles. So, Los Angeles is my other base, prior to COVID. I'm in London. So I used to, globe trot around the world. Can't do that anymore. But I've worked with some of the best in the world because I was in Los Angeles. I was on Century Boulevard. I went to all of the conferences every weekend at every major hotel, you name it. I've sat in on those conferences. And what I notice is the content is great. Okay. I would say most people are teaching really great content, but there's this culture that's created where people are buying into everything that's out there and they're not able to focus. Okay. So they are learning without earning.
Yeah.
And people get offended when I say this because every millionaire that I know, every multimillionaire that I know, and I know some very wealthy people, they are specialized in one thing. They have cultivated something, they have mastered it, and they took it to the bank and cash register just keeps raining and raining and raining. So what happens online is you go to expert one and they tell you do LinkedIn. Let's just say I tell you to do LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then you start working with me on LinkedIn. And then Kelly tells you to do Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you start doing Instagram. And then someone else tells you to do Snapchat. Now you're spread all across 3 platforms. There's no way the strategy is going to work. You're not going to be able to implement Kelly's strategy or my strategy. And so you're all over the place. And then we wonder why it's not working. I became I was going to say Instagram expert. That's not a true statement. I became a LinkedIn expert because I focused on LinkedIn. I built like those connections one by one. I was in the DM. Instagram, that was like hashtags and people following me and events and things like that. But LinkedIn, it's solid. Same thing with the Facebook. I've gone through those iterations with my Facebook. I deleted over 4,000 people. Built my network back up. I've hosted several groups on Facebook. But again, I have a very specific strategy. What's interesting, Kelly? I don't go on Clubhouse to listen to in other rooms. I don't. I have no idea what's going on Clubhouse. I go on Clubhouse to host the rooms that we have.
Yes.
So I'm not paying attention to what everyone else is doing. I'm creating. We have rooms. We're doing things. I don't have time to sit in. I'm not a spectator. Like I don't need to go and watch 20 different rooms a day and see what everyone else is doing. No, I'm doing it.
Yes.
So that's the difference, because people ask me all the time, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Nope, I didn't. But I can tell you I have 5 of my own rooms booked next week. You're happy to join in. Come and check out my rooms. I have really hot topics. Maybe we don't have hundreds of people in our rooms, but we have great conversations. Yeah. So I'm not trying to be popular. Yeah. So that's my 25 cents for that segment.
And you bring up such good points, because I've also heard it, right, where there's so much out there, and this is where the overwhelm comes. And it's like, you're exactly right. Talk to any millionaire, billionaire, what wealthiest people in the world. It's like, focus and like do the unsexy stuff. Like do it, because a lot of it is not sexy. Like
Not sexy.
But like you said, the individual reach outs on LinkedIn or like connecting one by one, like yes, I'm all about, the Facebook ads and all that stuff. You can run them. And like I don't think a lot of people like to do the unsexy stuff, like the one person at a time, the connection, the work, really, right?
Yep.
So I love that you said it's the work and it's the focus.
Yep.
And it ties all into like back to what you said, like knowing what you like to do, who you like to serve, your messaging, your packaging, it all intertwines. And I think I like what you also said, like I think people get overwhelmed, right? And they like want to look and they want like you said, popularity or profit, really, it's so.
I mean, think about it. I mean, let's just I'll pick like Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a Jennifer Lopez fan.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so she's doing her thing. She's all over. She's doing her thing. She doesn't have time to sit in and watch what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem with online. If you're so immersed in someone else's thing and you're not doing your thing, I have mentors, don't get me wrong, and I check out what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm more immersed in my thing than their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you become a leader. Yes. You can't stay stuck in someone else's models and formulas. You won't create your own.
Yeah.
So that's the point that people forget. Yes, it's good, and this is what's so funny to me. It's funny when like people follow a lot of people, but most of the people they follow are people that keep them stuck and right where they're at. Because everyone else is following them, and that's that sheep mentality, right?
Yes.
Because like, for example, I know my work is amazing. I know I'm the best in the world at what I do. And I know that if 1 million women got a hold of, what I do, I transform, like, I mean, the world would change. I know that. I know that. But because I'm not someone with millions of fans, right? People look at that and think, oh, well, does that, like, who is she? What does she know? Your expertise should never be based on those beauty metrics.
Vanity metrics, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I said beauty because I'm wearing pink today.
Yeah. Well, and you come from the beauty industry. You come from the beauty industry. Yeah.
I threw in the beauty. But you know what I'm saying? So people will see like, oh, because a lot of people aren't liking it, that means that it's not that great. Excuse me? My is the best in the world. If you start listening to me, I change your life. Okay? Hands down. Okay? But see, that's how people are conditioned now.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they're stuck. And here's the thing. There are women right now who are in economic shock. They've had to face the fact that they can no longer rely on a government, a man, a job, their family to bail them out. That's the reality of it. And there are women that want to do something. Most of the people are not going to be able to help them. They're just going to keep them stuck. And this is sort of my union address to all women is, if you're stuck, you have to draw the line in the sand and say, you know what, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a shift because this is not working. Yes. I'm going to go in another direction. But to keep doing it over and over and over again, was it who was it, Kelly? Einstein? Was it Einstein?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Was it Einstein? Insanity? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, the insanity quote? I don't know.
Okay, I'm not good with we'll look it up. but you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, that's insanity, and insanity it's not cute. And that's not driving gender equity, and that's not going to financially empower us. And we need to be financially empowered right now. Yes, that we need that as a gender. Yes, like especially now more than ever.
One or two tips that women who are struggling, what would you say?
One or two tips. I would say learn how to sell yourself. Just own it. Selling is, that was the skill that I was forced into, because I had to sell myself to get a job when I was in foster care, and then I had to sell myself to get a job when I was aged out of the system. So you have to be able to sell yourself, and then I would say build social capital, because the financial capital can actually go away, but if you have social capital, you can, you know, get out of those situations. And every time I lost everything, every time I had to start over, guess what? It was social capital that brought me back to life. You know, so those are the 2 tips for today. Think pink and grow rich.
Okay. You've been dropping bombs like all over this interview. So seriously,
we should do a Clubhouse. Okay, Kelly. This is it.
Yes.
We're going to do a Clubhouse. Think pink and grow rich.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And here's the deal. You have to love pink. Please don't come to our Clubhouse if you're a pink hater. If you're a pink hater, don't come to our Clubhouse. Okay? Because even though you're not going to see us wearing pink, we love pink. Right. And we're unapologetic in our pink. So that's the requirement. But Kelly and I will put the room up and we'll promote it on Instagram. And you'll start to see my Instagram change.
Yeah.
So.
I love you. Now, everyone, do you know why you literally need to be in this woman's vortex, the world, community? Like, go stalk her, go follow her. I love you so much. And thank you so much for literally like dropping the nuggets of wisdom, the bombs, whatever you want to say. Literally.
The jewels. The glamorous jewels.
That's right, the jewels, the jewels. Throughout this interview. So like, I always tell people, like, go back and watch this interview. I would say like, it's like 7 times they say, right? Because you're going to hear things a different way. It's like when you're ready, the student will appear, the teacher will appear, and like just your subconscious and conscious will not pick it up. So that's why I always like rewatch this at least, you know, I don't know if people are gonna say 7 times, but at least
you're
twice.
right, Kelly. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for your time, your energy, your wisdom, your love, your fierceness, your beauty, everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're amazing and really honored, you know, to be in your space and also like hosting Clubhouse rooms, right? And being like in your vortex. So I just want to say thank you so much from my heart to yours. And
you're my business bestie. And we have to thank Catherine Cassidy for bringing us together.
Yes.
The amazing Catherine Cassidy.
Catherine is amazing. That's how we connected. Yeah.
So I told her last night, I said, okay, you hit a home run. I said, you know, we've known each other for 10 years. She's in my $1 billion Rolodex. And I said, oh man, you really hit a home run with this one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I need to get more into your world too, my love. So thank you so much. And thank you, Catherine. So I'll tag Catherine too, so people can check her out.
So we're headed to Clubhouse, right?
Oh, yes, gosh. We're going to Clubhouse. Yeah.
We're headed to Clubhouse in 15 minutes for Let's Talk Women, Money, Power. This is our regular room every Saturday at 5 p.m. London and then 12 p.m. New York. So we're going to Clubhouse. We're going clubbing tonight. Woo.
Yeah, we're going clubbing after. Yeah, and just, you know, follow us on Clubhouse too, because you have different rooms. I have different, like all the things, and your rooms. You're doing a lot of rooms, which is great. And I see you like really like modding different rooms. So
I only do my rooms.
Oh, you only do? I thought you were in other rooms. No.
What I'm saying is I'm creating rooms.
Oh, you're creating rooms, yeah.
Yes, I'm creating rooms. I don't do, you know what I was saying earlier. I'm not a club
in
hopper.
the rooms. Yeah, you're not a spectator. I'm kind of a spectator. I have to admit, I'm a little.
It's okay to do it a little bit, but you know when people are saying, "Oh my gosh, I was on Clubhouse for 4 hours and I got sucked in." Okay.
That's how I was in the beginning, and then I had to put boundaries. I'm like, no, stop. You know, like it was. I had to like really like wheel myself back. But yeah, so check us out on Clubhouse, and that's it, my love. Thank you so much. This was really fun.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
I learned a lot, some stuff, and just also it heals me because I learned so much from like all these like interviews and this interview especially. So thank you. And everyone go check her out, get in her world, and re-watch this. And let us know if you're watching the replay, if you watch the live. I'm gonna
send me a DM.
Yeah,
send me a DM.
Yeah.
And we can have a chat in the DM. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. You know, you might not like the answer, but it's okay.
So everyone,
I'm being bad.
reach out.
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for our Clubhouse. So
yeah,
I'm getting ready.
Too.
I'm getting ready. So thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, and we'll be talking in like a couple minutes. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.